Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. Welcome back to my channel guys. I hope that all of you are doing good. Now a few days ago I did my full review of the new fragrance, one of the new fragrances from the house of LATTAFA called the KHAMRAH QAHWA. And since I've already done a review of the OG KHAMRAH as well, I decided that I'll take the opportunity in this video to actually compare those two fragrances, because probably people are asking themselves out there, is it worth buying one over the other, or is it worth buying one if you already have the other? So in this video today I'm going to compare the two KHAMRAH fragrances and I'm going to try to answer all those questions. Now this comparison will be slightly different compared to my usual fragrance battle videos, simply because the two fragrances scent-wise they're very close, bottle-wise they look almost identical, and packaging-wise they are almost identical as well. But I'll quickly show the packaging of the KHAMRAH QAHWA. The box of the OG KHAMRAH has exactly the same dimensions. You open up exactly the same way. You have exactly the same type of sort of a glossy metal plaque. The only difference is that the OG KHAMRAH has a slightly lighter sort of an golden color shade to it, and all in all the packaging is almost identical. And then the same can be said about the bottle design. It's absolutely identical with only one minor difference, and that's the fact that the OG KHAMRAH has a transparent glass bottle, whereas the KHAMRAH QAHWA has a slight sort of an brownish coloration at the bottom of the actual bottle. So all in all the bottles are absolutely identical and the packaging is absolutely identical. If you enjoy my videos guys and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. This will mean a lot to me. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, so you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay, the next topic will be about the actual scent. I'll talk a little bit about the note breakdown. Now, in front of me, first of all, I'll read you the note breakdown of KHAMRAH QAHWA, the new flanker. According to Fragrantica, the top notes are cinnamon, cardamom and ginger. The middle notes are praline, candied fruits and white flowers. And the base notes are coffee, vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin and musk. And the note breakdown of the OG KHAMRAH has the following notes. The top notes are cinnamon, nutmeg and bergamot. The middle notes are dates, praline, tuberose and mahonial. I even don't know what that is actually. And the base notes are vanilla, tonka bean, amber oud, myrrh, benzoin and akigala oud. Now when you first look at this the two note breakdowns, you may end up thinking that the two scents are actually quite different to each other, but the reality is that it's totally the opposite. They're super close with only one major difference. Now on my right hand I have the KHAMRAH QAHWA that I just sprayed, and on my left hand I have the OG KHAMRAH. Now as I said, there's one main difference, and that's the actual coffee note that you get with KHAMRAH QAHWA. Now it changes up the scent profile, especially in the opening, quite a bit, but that's the only real difference between the two fragrances. It adds a bit of a sort of like a bitter note, a bitter vibe to the DNA of the fragrance. It's not an espresso type of coffee note that I get. It's more like a latte type of note that has a touch of bitterness somewhere in the background. Whereas the OG KHAMRAH is super sweet right from the get-go. There's nothing, it's pretty simple type of scent. It's just super sweet. On the dry down they become very close to each other, but still the main difference here is that coffee note, which loses a bit of its strength when it comes to QAHWA. So the dry down of the two fragrances is actually pretty close. Now if I have to pick up a winner out of those two fragrances, I'll pick up the flanker QAHWA, simply because that coffee note adds a bit of depth to the whole scent profile. It makes it just a little bit more interesting and a little bit more unique. So in my opinion, the QAHWA flanker actually has the more interesting scent profile. When it comes to the performance and comparing those two fragrances, again, like with the scent profile and the packaging, they're incredibly close. Now the original KHAMRAH has always been a great performer for me, pretty much a beast mode performing fragrance that lasts at least 10 hours on my skin with pretty strong projection in the first up to 2 hours. But Khamrah adds a little bit on top of that. Total longevity is pretty much the same. I get about 10 hours, slightly over 10 hours of performance on my skin, but this thing projects harder compared to the original Khamrah. I get stronger projection, and for a little bit longer, let's say about 2.5 hours of stronger projection compared to the OG Khamrah. It just feels more intense. It's like an intense flanker, you know, performance wise to the OG Khamrah. When it comes to the price tag, now Khamrah has been one of the more expensive LATTAFA fragrances, but the one thing I've noticed ever since the KHAMRAH flanker was released, at least around here where I live, is that the prices on the OG Khamrah have started to gradually drop a little bit, and that's always a good thing. Now KHAMRAH QAHWA, I think because of the hype and because of the fact that it's a new fragrance, it's a little bit more expensive. I paid about 55 euros to get the KHAMRAH QAHWA flanker, whereas the OG Khamrah right at this time can be found for something like 35 euros. So at the current time, the OG Khamrah is the better deal. And at the end, when it comes to versatility, again those two fragrances, they're incredibly close, simply because of their scent profile being so close. Both of them are so sweet that they work best in cold weather. You know, they're late fall, winter and early spring type of scents, and both of them I think work better as a nighttime scent compared to daytime. But another thing that they have in common is the fact that, to my nose, both of them are, you know, totally unisex type of scents. And on to my final thoughts, you know, of this video. And here I'll try to answer the question: should you get one over the other, or should you get one of them if you already own the other? Now, if I have to pick up one fragrance, if I didn't have any of them, you know, after I've tried them, and I had to pick only one fragrance, it will be the new KHAMRAH flanker. And I'll give you a few reasons why that's the case. This thing has slightly better performance, meaning that it projects harder, so it's a fragrance that will get you noticed more compared to the original fragrance. The other thing that really works, you know, has things going for it when it comes to KHAMRAH, is the fact that this has a little bit of a more interesting type of scent profile. Because of that coffee note that's added to the whole scent, it adds a bit of depth, it adds it makes it a little bit more interesting in my opinion. And that's why, if I have to buy one right now out of the two, I will go with the KHAMRAH flanker. Now, if you already also, I want to try to answer another question. If you already own the original Khamrah and you're thinking about buying KHAMRAH, I would say that you don't really need to do that. It feels kind of redundant, simply because, you know, those two fragrances, they, at the end of the day, they try to do the same job, you know, being a sweet unisex fragrance with great performance, you know, cold weather scents that are great for nighttime usage. So if you already own the OG Khamrah, you don't really need to spend the money on the KHAMRAH flanker. Or if you already own KHAMRAH, you don't really need to get the KHAMRAH. If you have to choose only one of them, I would say just go with the one that's actually cheaper around where you live. You won't make a mistake going with either of them in reality. But again, if it was up to me, I would choose the KHAMRAH. And so guys, in today's video, I tried to quickly compare for you the two LATTAFA KHAMRAH fragrances, the OG and the new KHAMRAH flanker, and I tried to answer the question which one of the two you should pick up if you are going to buy only one, or whether also try to answer the question of should you buy one if you already have the other. I hope that you found this video interesting or informative. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.